We're live! We're live, 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 live! We're live on the internet. That's my song. It's the song. It's the song of my people. That we're live on the internet. Wow. That is really fizzy and covered in dog hair. Hello, everyone. And welcome to tonight's stream. It's night 6 of Spaceuary. It's night 7?
Game 6 and Game 7.
Oh, yes. It's Game 6 and Game 7. It's night 4 of Spaceuary. Though every night in February is Spaceuary. And we are playing a double header tonight because we play double headers on Thursday, apparently, of Roll for the Galaxy and Race for the Galaxy. Oh, we're gonna have to turn off the autofocus on my camera. Well, it's the special camera, so it's fine. Yeah, so Race for the Galaxy is designed by Tom Lehman, and it came out in
2005?
2007.
7.
Yeah, it came out a while ago. And it is what a lot of people would consider a classic. It's very interesting. And it's one of those games where, like, they tried to be language independent and do a lot of iconography. And so if you're new to gaming, it is awful to try and learn Race for the Galaxy. And even, like, gamers sometimes struggle with Race for the Galaxy because the art's, like, it's very 2007 still. Like, they haven't updated it. And there's still a lot of icons, and, like, the player areas are huge. And it's a lot of people struggle to learn it. I, myself, first played it in, like, I don't even know, 2008, 2009. Can't be that long ago.
That's when I played it.
But it was, like, it took me, like, 3/4 of the game to understand why I was doing anything and what I was doing and how things worked. And then when it like, clicked, it was like, oh! And then I thought it was an amazing game. So, oh, hi, Ryan!
Hey, Ryan.
So in 2014, Tom Lehman teamed up with, Wei Huang Yang, Wei Hua Hyung, sorry, to make Roll for the Galaxy, which is a DICE version implementation of Race for the Galaxy. And a lot of people really like this implementation better because it's a little easier to teach. They didn't go for, like, full language independence, and so there is icons, but there's text that goes with the icons. And so everything that has an icon on it, unless it's one of, like, the main icons in the game, has text that also explains it. And so it's a lot easier to teach people. It's a lot easier as, like, an intro game for getting people into this kind of mechanic and type of game. And so that's what we're going to play first today, is we're going to play Roll for the Galaxy first, which should make anyone trying to learn Race for the Galaxy, if they haven't seen it yet, it should make a little bit more sense. And we'll talk about the differences of those games as we play them. So yeah, but we're going to start with Roll for the Galaxy, and let's do it.
So this is a role-playing game?
I mean, technically, yes. You are rolling and playing.
And we're role-playing Earth's former colonies as they try to colonize and trade and settle the galaxy.
Yes. We're also,
which just means it's just my excuse to trash talk as one of Earth's former colonies.
Yeah. This game, I'm going to just switch over to this camera now. So, this game does come with very involved player aids, but they're player shields. So, if you didn't know, the, like, awesome mechanic that Race for the Galaxy does is it does an action selection game. So, everybody has a hand of cards, and those cards represent 5 of basic actions that you can take. And you will pick one of those 5 actions to be the action that you are for sure going to do that round. And then the game has a follow mechanic where if one player activates one of the 5 actions, all other players may also take that action. So there's a little bit of... That's most of the only player interaction in the game. And so the interaction comes from paying attention to what your opponents are doing to try and piggyback off of what you think they're going to do on their next turn, which makes for some interesting combinations. They do the same thing in Roll for the Galaxy, but instead of cards driving the game and the mechanic, it's dice. So let's learn how to do Roll for the Galaxy. This is the rule book. These are the player aids. This game, Roll for the Galaxy, is for 2 to 4 players, and each player gets one of these cool cups, which have the like icons for the 5 actions. You can't see them. You can't see them at all. They're like,
maybe one of the other colors.
No,
like
you can
blue.
sort of see it.
Yeah.
It's like molded into the side of the
Red
cup. So that's kind of cool. They're like custom. Red is not.
Nope.
Red is not good. They're custom cups, and they're like have the spacey themed bottoms.
Someone should make sippy cup lids for these.
Right? Like I would just get like a used copy of this game just to get the cups, to have these as the kid cups. Like screw the IKEA kid cups we have.
These are like beefier.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So each player is going to get their player color of cups, and then each player needs to get a player aid / shield. And then there's a big old tile. There's a big bag of tiles, and you're going to put all the tiles in the bag. And then there are larger tiles, which are starting tiles, and a couple smaller starting tiles. Oh, we need the big bowl for the dice. Then there's like a bag of dice, big, beautiful dice. And you just need to make these accessible to everybody. So we're going to put them in one of our awesome felt bowls from Netter's Place. Link down below to her Etsy shop.
Love these so much.
We pimp these so much because we just love them, and we really like Nutters, and we like supporting her because she was one of the first people to like make and sell these. So yeah. Hey Kabuki! Thank you, Kabuki.
Thanks.
Then each player is going to get one of these tiny little cards. These are actually your action selection cards. So when you're going to have dice, and you're going to roll them, and then you're going to allocate those dice to the different actions you might want to do. And that you do that via this little thing behind your player shield. So everybody's going to get one of those. And then everybody also needs one of these boards, which is sort of like your income tracker and your income tracker and
your like next up research production.
Yeah.
The stuff you're making.
Oh, we don't want all of these.
Well, we
want
a specific number, right?
Yeah. So then each player is going to get a little weird, supposed to be a money symbol, but looks more like a dude, hunched over dude running. That's for your income tracker. You're going to put it on the one spot on your income board.
Sanctuary!
I'm going to put these here. I'm going to put these here. And then we're going to do... Actually, let's put
24 victory points.
So the game ends when one player has built 12 things in their like space network, or when all of the victory points for the game have been taken, and the number of victory points in each game is determined by the number of players. So if you are trying to set up along with us, go ahead and check the rule book to see how many you need for your player count.
That's right, and it's 24 in a 2-player game, 36 in a 3, 48 in a 4, and 60 in a 5-player game.
Yeah, so I think it's 12
Oh,
cards.
this is 2 to 5. I think you said...
I
oh,
did.
no, race is 2 to 4. This is 2 to 5.
Yeah. Then, these are the 5 actions I was talking about. These are the little tie lines that you can do it. I don't know if Roll for the Galaxy is solo. I know there is an expansion for Roll for the Galaxy, and they might have solo rules in that. I do know that Race for the Galaxy, which is what we're going to play in a couple hours, or like an hour and a half, does have an expansion which is solo, and all future expansions include expansions for the solo game, if you go that route. So these action tiles, you're going to have one for each action. Normally you put them X side down. Actually, let's just do that. So we're going to put them all X side up, I should say, not X side down. And you're going to put them in order, so 1 through 5. Okay, and then there are these big, like, boards. Oh, so Roll does have... Good, okay, cool. Roll does have an expansion. Hey, Chuck Frank! Do you prefer race or gold? We're already getting that question. Steve and I prefer Race for the Galaxy. We prefer the card game.
Which is funny because when I very first played Race, I didn't...
You didn't like it.
I didn't like it, and I was just like, where's the player interaction?
Yeah, you can just say you didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then you met your wife, and you learned the joys of not interacting. Wait.
And then I learned to enjoy not interacting with my fellow players, and came to love it. No. But we'll get into it as we play both.
So you're going to shuffle these boards, which are starting boards, and then each player is going to take one.
I want the good one.
Oh, wait, don't you pick two and then get to keep one? Or am I thinking of a different game?
I think you're thinking of a different... Yep. One faction tile and one home world tile.
Okay.
So the faction tile, I believe, is
this one.
Yep.
And these are home worlds. So, I'm a fish person.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, your empire will be lauded for its efficiency.
Oh, God.
I am a mining industry that's also a doomed world. Probably because I mined too much. This is like a morality play in two tiles right here.
Gameline says, well, darn, they need to get both. Oh. Charles's dog. Charles's mom's dog does not care for his dog's energy level. We totally understand that with Xena. Xena's energy level is pretty low right now, though, because she's sick. But, yeah. Okay. I'm going to zoom in the camera so that y'all can see. We have it zoomed out pretty big for when we played, whatever game it was we played Tuesday. What did we play Tuesday, Kairas? Do you remember?
It was a big game. Pulsar.
We played Pulsar on Tuesday. Yep.
Pulsar 2849?
2849.
2849.
Yeah.
Boom.
That was it. You remembered. All right. I think that's a good zoom in.
Yeah. You can do that.
You can see our... Well, let's maybe go... Well... Let's go out a little. That's in. We upgraded / switched cameras that are on overhead, and so now I have an amazing amount of zoom, but like very little control over it. So I apologize. They're like, here's all these pixels, 4K worth of pixels, but like the slider that we're gonna give you to adjust your zoom level is the same slider we give you for 720p, and it's just like, no, it's not the same.
Yep, dog. The deer antlers and things for your dog to chew on. That is a great way to just...
Okay, we're almost done with setup.
Regulate dog energy level.
Okay, so now each player needs to prep their cup. So, rules please, sir, because I can never remember this.
Rolls?
Rolls please. So, each player is going to get 3 white dice, and they're going to put them in their cup. Boop.
And these dice represent our citizens?
Yes, each die represents a citizen. And each die represents, oh, you should try to play along. Charles, try to play along. We can play with Charles. Are you going to be here for the whole stream, Charles? Do you want to be our 3rd player? Kabuki, do you have a copy? I'm liking where this is going, y'all.
I mean...
Okay. Sorry. Then you're going to take 2 more white dice. White dice represent your home world. And you're going to put them on your citizen mark, which is this part of the board. Okay? So, then your like species, world, planet, and your starting world should each give you a die, and you're going to put it where it says. So I will get a green die, and it says to put it in my cup. And then I get a brown die, but the brown die I put on the world. And I'll explain what that does in a second. The rule selection would only be one-sided. Why would it only be one-sided? Because you would be playing with us. You would be our 3rd player. So you would tell us what role you picked, and we would tell you what roles we picked. And then we would that be weird? For future people watching? I don't know.
No, I mean, not that weird. But
I'm excited by this prospect, but...
I think just we would just have to fudge a bit with the fact that VP are limited, but...
Oh yeah, the VP limitation would be weird. Okay, so now we're done with setup. Okay. Can we get a link for the Twitch stream and the doodly-doo? That's a brilliant idea. For right now, I will do this. That should help, and I will update that. I can't update it while we're live, but I'll update it for the next one, and I'll put it in the future ones. That's really smart.
That is a good idea. Oh yeah, I thought we had one, but I guess.
Okay.
Thanks, Kabuki.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you how to play. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna play for however many rounds to the game's end, and it's kind of like a simultaneous action game. So we're all gonna select one of the 5 actions, and then we're going to do the actions in order, but when we're resolving the actions, we resolve simultaneously. With the exception of if we need to draw things from this bag, we just do it in turn order. It's not a big deal. Actually, it isn't really even a turn order. It's whoever led kind of thing. But, beginning of every round, you take your dice, you shimmy them up. I'm actually going to move...
Hopefully the dice shimmying is not too horrifically loud.
Let us know if it's loud and we'll change how we do it. But I'm gonna do this here without a player shield for this teaching step. And Steve will too for this teaching step.
Oh, yeah.
Do you start with that much money?
Because my citizenry. The Doomed World, I start the game with 8 instead of $1, but I don't get an extra die.
You are doomed. That's true.
I am very doomed. I am doomed to a life of mining and exploitation of natural resources.
Okay.
Woe is me. So,
you take your cup, you roll all the dice in the cup, and then, okay, don't slam it on the table while we're discussing, if that's loud or not. Each die has a different distribution of one of the 5 actions, and there's a wild side. The distribution of all the dies is on this really large, annoying player aid right here. There's a lot of great information on here, but until you learn the game, it's really overwhelming. So this is the die distribution. Don't worry about it for right now, okay? So one of the first things I do is I line up...
We also each get a tile, don't we? For develop and settle.
Oh, yeah.
For develop and settle.
We will each get 2 tiles, and then we pick which side we want to be.
So because this will make those actions make a little bit more...
Yeah, so that was another part of the setup. Everybody draws 2 tiles, and then you pick... The tiles are double-sided. One side is a planet, and the other side represents, a technology development. You pick one of each side that you want. And it goes into your...
Oh, that's too good that's too good to pass up. I have chosen the New Galactic Order. That's right, Ichi. Yeah. And the Rebel Hideout. So my mining industry is basically playing both sides.
Great.
Supporting the New Galactic Order as well as the Rebel Hideout because they need more minerals.
I'm going to do the propaganda command or campaign and the Plague World. Yeah. So you put them here. These are the stocks that you're working on. Then after you die roll, I recommend that you put the die in the columns under the actions that they represent, like the sides that came up. But then one of these dice you get to put as your, this is the action I'm going to do. So the action options are Explore. It's the eyeball. When you take Explore, that means that you can either look through the bag, or not look, but draw tiles from the bag to add to your I'm going to work or explore to find these planets. Or you can gain money for every die that you have in the Explore. So every die that you have when you decide to explore, every die that's in this column, including the one that you put on the Explorer eye, which, by the way, can be a die that is showing any side, will get you one tile, one draw from the bag. If you want to increase how many tiles you get to draw from the bag, you can also discard tiles, and it doesn't matter how many you discard. So right now I could discard Propaganda World, and then I would be able to draw 3 tiles from the bag instead of just 2. And I would keep all of those tiles. So that is the Explore action. And the next action is Develop. So again, I could use this die, even though it's not showing the develop action, I could use it to develop. When you develop, all of the dice in the develop column go to your in progress development, which is this one. So I would take these 2 dice and I would put it here. If the number of dice that you have on the development equals or exceeds the number on the development itself, that means you have built that development. So you would take the development, put it in your space, and be like, yeah, it's built. And then from then on, you would get that ability for future turns. If you had exceeded that value, and you had another development underneath that you were working on, any excess die would go to that other development. So for example, if I had this situation, and this is entirely hypothetical, but let's say that I had 4 development, or 5 development, which I definitely don't have right now. But let's say, with some minor cheating, I had rolled really good, and I had 5 development. I would do 4 development here, right? And then 5, because of the excess. So 4 of the development would get discarded. Oh, doesn't go there.
It gets discarded to your citizenry.
Any die, when you discard them, they go to your citizenry. And then this would go into my space because I made it, and then the excess would go onto the development that it was below it under the stack. If I had access and I didn't have that other development, that one would would be used up, and it would just go to my citizenry.
There's nothing for them to do. They're unemployed. Yep,
they're unemployed. Kind of sucks. So that is the develop action, which, by the way, operates almost exactly like the settle action. So the settle action is the same, but it's for the settle planets. So in this case, I would be settling 2, so I would take these 2 dice and put it on this planet. When I meet or exceeded the number on this planet, I would gain the planet, put it in my space tableau, and then I would gain the benefit. Usually when you gain planets, you're going to get a dice from the dice pool, and then you're going to put it either in your cup, your citizenry, or on the planet itself that you just harvested. So, yeah.
Top 4K cameras being a little focusy.
Oh.
Might want to try autofocus.
Okay. So that is how Explore works. Pretty straightforward in regards to... Hi, Gameline! Thank you for coming to Twitch!
Yep, thanks for hopping over. And that's a bummer, Charles. That would have been a lot of fun. But that does actually give me the idea that either Roll or Race, possibly Roll, might be a good candidate for a play-along stream. No?
No, because the quantity of cards in the deck. The distribution would be wrong in the deck. Roll would be a much better play-along because the distribution is the same.
Yeah, roll would be better. They'd still need their own copy and pull tiles, and then we just wouldn't get to select the rolls that the people playing would select, but they would get to select our rolls. So that could be fun.
It could be.
As a future thing.
2 more actions. Almost there. So then you have the produce action, which is this one. And this is a great example. I actually don't have a die that says produce. But, again, you can put any die you want here. And then let's say that I didn't actually want potentially to do any of these actions. Because what happens is let's say Steve picked Explore. So even though I, in this case, did not pick Explore, because I have a die allocated to Explore, I would get to Explore 2. I just would only explore for 1, whereas he's exploring for 2. Right? So let's say, and then I would trigger produce, and he would not produce because he didn't put any dice into produce. But let's say that I don't really want to develop or settle, so these dice are kind of useless for me. So what I can do is I can actually put one of the dice here. I'm dictating that I would want this die to become a produce die. And then I can put that die there. So you sort of like spend a die to make another die be what you want.
I think you actually don't change the face, right? You just move it over.
You move it to column.
Yeah, you move it to the column you're putting it in.
I always flip it.
Okay, it might not matter.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. But the spinning thing makes me think that you rotate it.
Regardless, you do move it to the new column.
Yeah. So in this case, I would produce. So what produce means is you take these dice and you put them on one of your planets that can produce goods. So planets that can produce stuff are planets that are either green, blue, brown, or yellow. So there's a little icon right there in the corner. And you basically this one will produce green dice, essentially. So if I had this planet and I said I'm gonna produce, I could produce on the Plague World. I actually couldn't produce a second time because each planet can only produce once. So I couldn't put another die on this brown one. So this would be lost. It would be spent. Sad face. But producing is basically the world is producing some sort of good. So yeah, that's the produce action. Really straightforward.
For the record, the reassign, or because dictate gives you a reassign, they say don't flip the face, so it makes it easier to undo your reassigns if you're manipulating stuff behind your screen.
Got it. Just
because of cheating.
You are good at that. All right. So the last possible action is shipping. So for the ship action, let's say I used this one to ship. And just for example purposes, I'm going to say that I don't know, this. Okay. So let's say I dictated this to be a produce. Nobody did produce. Sad face. Nobody did the thing I wanted, even though I allocated a dice. It goes in the cup. Then I'm going to ship. So I get to ship 2 things. So if I had 2 planets that had goods on them, I would get to ship for those 2 planets, right? So when you ship, you have 2 options. One is you ship for points or you ship for money. When you ship for points, you gain points, 1 point for shipping, 1 point if the color of the good you're shipping matches the color of the planet, and an additional point if the color of the ship you're using matches the color of the planet. So in this case, if I was shipping this brown planet, I would get 2 points, 1 just for shipping, 1 for shipping a brown die, and then I would not get an additional point because this die is not brown. If I did have a brown die there, I would get 3 points in this situation. 1 because of the brown planet, 1 just because I'm shipping. Sorry. I would get 1 point for shipping because I shipped, 1 point because I'm shipping a brown die from a brown planet, and another point because I am shipping with a brown die from a brown planet. So this would be 3 points, and you get 3 points from here, and you just put them someplace. So there you go. That is shipping. The way to ship for money is you discard the die. The die counts as being the color of the planet, and you gain money equal to that color. So in the handy dandy guide, under the ship for money called trading, there's a little circles, which you can't see right here, that say how much money you get per color. So for shipping a green die, even though the die is not green, it's coming from a green world, so it counts as a green good, I would get $5. So I would put $5 up on my thing. And that is all of the actions.
Awesome.
What? So, after we've resolved all the actions that have been selected, we do a reallocation phase. What's the official word for that? A manage empire phase. So, in this phase, when you do things with your dice, when you actually activate them to do things, when they get spent, they go to your citizenry. Any dice that didn't get activated go back in your cup. To get more dice from your citizenry into your cup, you have to pay $1 per die. But you get to pick what you want. So if I'm like, oh man, I really want to settle, the green die is really good at settling, I'll pay $1 and I'll get a green die. And then I could be like, oh, whatever, I'll just buy another white die. And then I could just be like, I'm done, I'm good, I'm going to roll now. You can spend down to $0, and then at the end of the manage game setting, you'll get $1 back. So you will always be able to get 1 die back. So it doesn't make sense to spend down to $1. Like if you're going to spend down to $1, just spend to 0 because you'll get that $1 back. If I'm at $1 at the end of the round, I don't get an additional $1. Like it doesn't work like that. If you're at 0, you get $1. The space bank empire gets sad for you or something. I don't know. So that is the manage empire step. Then we would just flip these back to the X side, and then we see if anybody has 12 things in their space tableau, and a thing just counts as a square, so we start the game with 3 each. Or if this little pile of victory points is empty, then that's the end of the game. End of the game is you count victory points from this, and then all of the numbers on all of the things, in addition to being the costs for those things, are victory points at the end of the game. Did you count how many points you get? There we go. Yeah, the rattling is pretty bad in this game with the cups. Ryan, Twitch is another streaming service. You can hang out on YouTube if you want. That's totally fine. So yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty loud game. Also, hi Maples Academy. Alright. Let's do this.
Awesome. What was I...
and thank you for the comments about the shelf video. We're gonna do... I'm supposed to be editing a table video, but I've only shot, like, half the footage for it. We have to shoot a couple more pieces of footage for the table. But, yeah, there's gonna be a table video about this table and how I built it and did the mod.
I think also you wouldn't necessarily need to use the cups for rolling.
You don't. You're rolling behind a screen, so you can just use your hands.
And for dice, things that you put your die in the cup, you could just set them in a certain spot. Like, the cups are not...
They're nice. They're not mandatory. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering if we should maybe just use...
Roll behind the screen, yeah.
We each have a bowl.
I agree.
And that's our... Yeah. That's our cup for this game.
One thing I know that we were liking to do is to signal, in like a multiplayer game, signal you're done by putting your cup down.
Well, we can still do that.
We can still do that. So it's more of like a...
You put your cup upside down when you're done. But that doesn't work if you put dice back. Yeah. Oh, but you shouldn't have any dice.
Yeah.
All right. So...
Kabuki is watching Alien right now at the same time as the stream. So I
saw that.
I think with my mining industry on the meteorite planet and the doomed world, I think I'm like thematically linked. Although you have the plague world too. So
I have a plague world potentially. I could discard it. You don't know.
I mean that.
I turned off autofocus.
Yeah, but that space explorer looks like they got a little something not great.
The chat thinks you shouldn't have a screen because you'll cheat.
No, but they can see straight down.
Did you put your screen in there?
No,
I gave you a screen. No, this is my... Oh. Alright. Steve doesn't purposely cheat. His cheating is not premeditated. It's entirely accidental. That's why I trust him and will still play these games with him.
See, chat can totally see... my dice. Okay, so the cup is going to be this.
Yeah, so we're going to put our dice in our bowls so they're not as loud, and we're going to roll into... Or onto the table, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to start now. So you roll, allocate, and then figure out what you want to do. I think what I want to do... Oh, right. So when I develop, I have a special power. Everybody starts with a special power. When I develop, I can reassign power. All reassigned power developments require one fewer developer to complete, but no fewer than one. So, for example, this propaganda campaign, which does the reassign action, actually costs me 3 to complete instead of 4.
For my power, I get +1 good for each good I consume, which means turning into money. This phase from a rare elements world. Oh no, sorry. Consume is points.
Yeah.
So I get $1 for each good that I turn into points. So that's interesting. So instead of...
So you just have to be mindful of that.
So if I turn them into victory points, I can get some extra money.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do that, maybe.
Hey, Al Shrew. Thanks for hopping in.
I think it's just Al.
Al?
Yeah.
Al Shrew?
Al Shrew. I don't think it's Al. Alright, I'm ready.
I am also ready.
Okay. I am going to be shipping.
You're doing a lot with those 4 dice. I dictated, so I'm settling.
You shouldn't settle. You should do what you want.
I am doing what I want, and that's settling.
Alright, so I had a die in the settle column, but nobody explored, so my explore die will go back to my cup bowl thing. And then...
Oh, and when I revealed anything that I used to dictate, it goes back in the cup.
Yep. So my settle, even though he activated settle, we simultaneously will settle, and I have a die here, so I get to settle my plague world just a little bit.
And my citizens will go to my rebel hideout.
I shouldn't... Oh, no, I do start with one of those. I was like, I shouldn't have one of these yet. I totally should from this. Apparently my uplick. Okay, and then I'm shipping. And I don't know why I shipped twice.
Well, I should say also, I'm going to resolve this. Oh. So I know we're doing everything kind of fast, but these 2 dice settle the rebel hideout. They go back to my citizenry, and then I gain 2 military, which are red dice, into my citizenry. The red dice have 2 settle and 2 develop phases, so they have a preference for doing that. In comparison to race, where like military planets, you had to settle them differently, and here the dice that you get from military are just biased.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and ship this brown die, and I'm just going to go ahead and ship for money. So I'm going to get $4 for shipping this die. It goes to my citizenry. The ship that I use goes to my citizenry. And this die, I actually don't want to use.
I think if you assigned it.
There's apparently a roll extra phase for 2 players.
Return any excess shippers to the cup.
There's apparently a 2-player rule change.
Oh.
Roll extra phase? Oh. Do we roll like a random die?
Do
we roll a random die for 2-player?
Did someone mention there was a 2-player?
No, it's in the thing. It's in the player aid.
Oh.
Da-da-da. 2-player game. Roll a spare die. If the rolled face is a face that wasn't selected by either player, flip that tile as well. Okay. That's what I thought. Produce! So we would produce, but nobody produced anyway, so it's fine. Okay. So that's the round, and now we would spend income to get dice back. I really want this one back, so I'm going to take it back. And then, well, I want it.
Are we doing the Empire Management?
Yep. And then I'm going to take these 2 back.
Oh, there's a recall phase? I didn't realize that you can pull back your dice that you have assigned to development, settling, or goods.
Oh, yeah, from planets if you don't want them anymore.
I didn't realize that. I thought they were just stuck.
Nope. Okay. Which we should say, if you, during the management, after you buy die, if I decide, oh, I actually don't want to settle this, I can pull this die back, and it would go to my cup bowl thing, but don't want to do it, so. It's cool. Alright.
We'll see, I have $8. I'm gonna spend 7.
Okay.
Why not?
Alright.
You only live once.
I mean, maybe you. Alright. That's way quieter than the cups. Yeah. Alright. Oh.
I'm developing.
Wow, I'm developing.
3rd player die.
Is producing. Thanks, 3rd player. Great. So, both of our explorers will come back. And then we both develop. I developed 3, because that's all I need for...
So in this case, I used my wild for develop,
campaign.
and then I assigned an additional die.
Ah! I had $3 left.
So I put the new galactic order into play. And these all go back to my citizenry. This gives me +2 VP per 3 military dice I own, rounded up. And then when completing a world, I put all of the military settlers back into my cup.
Oh, that's gross.
It's very gross.
I put it in the propaganda campaign, so I can reassign 1 or 2 workers to the phase I select. Which is pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, I'm ready.
Well, I'm out of money.
Tonight we are drinking Polar 100% natural seltzer calorie-free black cherry. It's not LaCroix. I'm drinking a brand other than LaCroix because I'm trying to branch out in the world. Something with it.
I will buy...
And Steve is drinking...
Uli's light cider.
Mm-hmm. The Citra flavor.
I was not going to tip it this way to show that camera for obvious reasons, but I was tempted.
Alright, and then that's the round. This game, I will say, I feel like roll is a lot more interesting with more players. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Not helpful at all.
Oh, no.
Tell me how you really feel. I'm going to dictate. I'm ready.
Is it we can't produce to...
Gray planets. No, they don't produce. They're just barren rocks. They're mostly off.
That rebel hideout is a barren rock?
Yeah.
There's like tauntauns there and wampas and...
That's not the rebel hideout that you're thinking of.
There's a shield generator too. Just have to make sure it doesn't go down.
Alright, I'm settling.
Ugh.
Steve's producing. And our friend is exploring! Alright. So we both
my
are
developed
exploring.
die goes back into the cup. Does it...
It doesn't matter. Just choose draw one.
So, since I have no tiles to discard, I have to only draw one. The Lost Species Arc World. Or diversification. You may reassign a
But you don't have to, Ryan. I just want to say. If you want to hang out on YouTube, that's fine.
Wow. Well, you pick that.
We're gonna do like a cross stream thing at some point. I gotta figure it out. Where it will like auto post the Twitch chat into YouTube and the YouTube chat into Twitch. So you can have conversations cross the networks. But I haven't figured it out yet.
That's a good game.
I got the networks? Yeah, it is. Galactic Recycling.
You would.
Or Alien Robot Scout Ship.
How can you turn down the Alien Robot Scout Ship in favor of recycling? That's basically that Alien Robot Scout Ship. That's the Navigator, which is an awesome movie. Wasn't it called The Navigator?
But
with the kid.
I'm gonna do Galactic Recycling
type thing.
I'm not listening anymore. And then we do subtle. I'm gonna do 2 subtle to my plague world. So now I have a plague world. Important to specify. So I get a green die and I put it in my cup according to that.
Recycling.
Yeah, I'm gonna recycle. And then it's a produce, and Steve produced.
I did, which means
and it's a brown die, so I'm gonna put.
And then I'm gonna put my brown die on a brown planet.
And this die that I dictated will go back to my cup. And I only have $1 to spend.
I also only have $1.
So I have to decide wisely. I will get the green die.
And I'm gonna get one of these red dice because they are awesome at settling planets peacefully. The military settle planets peacefully. I just want to point out. My military do.
Flight of the Navigator.
Thank you, Kabuki.
This is why we keep Kabuki around.
There's other reasons.
Deception mode in Hong Kong.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
I'm trying to get Steve to play a solo stream on the weekend of Outer Planets. Kabuki, I was just wondering if maybe you had an opinion about that. Maybe. Because I work on the weekends. But, you know, if Steve wanted to just fly a ship into space.
Maybe send a payload out to the asteroid belt with no way of coming back?
I mean, maybe don't set your heart on that one to start. You don't even know what the missions are. But, you know, it could be an option, I guess.
Sometimes, you know, just because there's no roads doesn't mean you can't put a car up there.
You could I think you could very easily, if you just started, as soon as we finished our streams tonight, if you went upstairs, you could easily make a Tesla red sports car expansion card.
Or a 1954 Corvette? I don't remember what year it was. The heavy metal car, but yeah.
So the blue post-it notes are reminders for Steve that game can play solo.
Yes, because there are some games that support solo but don't say it on the box or are easy to forget. Obviously that one.
Well, yeah, so he marked all of his solo games at one point, or all games that he wanted to play solo with a blue tag. And a lot of blue tags have fallen off, or I've removed them because I'm like, you're never going to play the solo. But that one persists.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone played the Roll expansion? Wondering if it's worth a buy. Kabuki has it. I know that it adds solo play.
And I've only played the base.
Explore! Wait, you didn't pick a thing to do. Okay. Like, what are you...
Just cheating a little bit. Oh, what does our glorious comrade do, as we say?
Explores.
Of course they do.
I'm going to get... So, for Explorer to get income, your base income is $2 per die. So I'm going to spend 1 die to get $2, and another die to get $2, and then I'm going to spend my last die...
Keep forgetting you can do that.
To get... Oh, you have the race expansion for solo. What are the green tags? That's a good question. What are the green tags?
Do we have green tags up there?
We did have green tags.
I don't remember.
I don't think we have green tags. There were pink tags and purple tags.
And the blues kind of look aqua-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, the blue tags are long and skinny.
Oh, that's a really good development. I wanted to go for the planets, but that's a great development. Yeah, I'm gonna do the development side. Alright, and then I have $5, and I'm gonna get...
Oh, you're done. I'm gonna settle those 2 dice.
It's simultaneous, Kairaz.
I thought you do all the phases in order.
I mean, yeah, but I've already done Explore.
Yeah, don't you have to wait for me to
No, you don't have to wait, just go. It's simultaneous! It's supposed to be quick!
Alright. 1 die, because I only had $1.
Are you talking about the green tags in the video? The shelves?
Oh, we aren't supposed to see.
Yeah, we don't know what Chaz is rolling. We're just gonna say it's Chaz. It's the same guy that plays Roll for Vegas with us.
Oh, a green tag on Scoville. I don't think does Scoville still have a tag, or maybe it did.
It did have a tag at one point. Oh, at the time of that filming, I might have been out of pink sticky notes, which are the potentially getting rid of sticky notes.
The problem with Scoville is it makes its way to the chopping block, and then we play it, and we're like, this is so good, and setup takes so long, and it's kind of fiddly, but it is so good.
And it plays 6 players. That's like the discussion we have every time.
Yeah.
It plays 6 players. It's really good. And it's just so fiddly for 2 players, but it's so good.
Hey, Nutters!
Nutters! Scoville probably did have a tag at some point. I think at the time of that video, I was in the middle of trying to do a purge because we built the new shelves, and then it was like, games don't fit on these shelves, and I'm about to go to Essen. So, yeah. That's what happened! I'm gonna do that. I'm ready. Oh, you only have 1 die!
Scoville is so good.
Oh, goodness. Alright, well, I am developing.
Oh, and Chaz is also shipping.
Great. Okay.
Chaz and I mind melded.
My explorers go away. That was a produce. But I get 2 develop, which is what I need to trigger galactic recycling. So in the future, I will get $1, after completing each development or world, not including that one. And then my produce didn't activate, so I get that back. And I will spend my $1 to get this green die back. And that was my turn.
So this is interesting. So I'm shipping this 1 good that I have. I can either get 2 points and $1 or $4. And I have very little money right now. What am I going to do? What am I going
Thanks for looking into Twitch, Ryan. So the reason why we're asking people to move to Twitch is that Twitch just supports streaming better. And we were trying to reach a view goal on Twitch. Also, the passer buyer, we get more people that just like randomly pass by and come and hang out in Twitch. Whereas in YouTube, it's not very browser friendly and people don't like go looking. People have to know us to know that we're live on YouTube for them to go. Whereas on Twitch, people are just like, I want to watch board games, and then it's like there. So it's interesting.
Yeah, YouTube is only people that find out about it through like tweets and
because there's no board game category on YouTube. So on Twitch, you can write the game that you're playing manually, and then people can search for that game and then find it. But on YouTube, you can't do that. Their system is like it has to be a game that that's in their system, and they don't support board games. They just support video games through that system. So it's really annoying. Hey, Chad. So we moved to Twitch, but now there's enough people in Twitch. Y'all. We got an affiliate invite. So we succeeded in getting a Twitch affiliate invite. We haven't activated it yet. I'm still looking into it. Basically, there's some legal implications if we accept being a Twitch affiliate. Because in addition to getting only one emoji, sadly, we only get one emoji. So we'd have to pick which dog.
We only get one?
We only get one.
Well, probably Ichi then.
Yeah.
Only one emoji?
Yeah, only one emoji. And that would be for subscribers. It's weird. The whole purpose of becoming a Twitch affiliate would be to get money. And we don't do this for money. So it's it would be weird. But there's like some legal stuff. In addition, like we couldn't stream simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch. Like their terms of affiliate status is like you can't do that. You'll be terminated if you do. So yeah, we don't know. So we're thinking about it. We're discussing it. And I think we're gonna continue doing Twitch as like the push because I think that there's a lot more board gamer streamers on Twitch and it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense for me to stop streaming on YouTube necessarily, especially because we have so many new people that just drop into YouTube. Yep. So we're going to make the Gizmo emoji 100%. We're going to do that one on the Slack. Steve really liked, I think, the first picture you sent of Gizmo.
There are some good ones. I will definitely make one. But yeah, no, it's...
Oh, I figured, Ryan. I just felt like explaining again, and it was a great segue to the fact that we did make Twitch affiliate. So yeah. So it's definitely cool, and I don't feel great about like not also streaming YouTube because I think I don't know, YouTube seems more convenient to drop in. Like you can watch on your you can watch on your phone, you can watch on TV. Like people that aren't streamers, it's easier for them to watch if it's on YouTube. So, but they have to be a subscriber already. It's weird. Oh, thank you for looking, Netters. I'll just download the one you put in the thing. That's good enough. I'll print it. It'll still be good enough for our little Polaroid printer. I'm gonna print that picture of you and Gizmo.
It's a really good picture.
It's a good picture.
I might have one on my phone, but
I wanted the like original like high res one. So it would print very nice, but
oh, I sighed so much my shield fell over.
I'm gonna dictate.
I wish I had some agents to keep this shield up.
Oh gosh.
But I would need to think of a clever name for those agents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that you hate me.
Yeah, Ryan watches on tablet phone. Yeah, there's a Twitch app that you can download or you can watch on mobile. And the Twitch app is pretty good if you're logged into it. But it's like you have to have Twitch and you have to like go there. Like if you're a passerby streamer, you're not like walking around scrolling around looking for streams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you want to come and watch just us, it's better for YouTube, I think. I don't know.
It seems like it is. I don't know. You all can say what you think is more convenient too.
I'm ready.
I'm also ready. I was born ready.
No,
I was born to settle.
All right. That goes back. I'm developing. Chaz is shipping.
Chaz is shipping.
All right. So developing. I'm gonna develop the space refineries.
So nobody's exploring. So my explore and my produce go back into the cup.
And then when I complete something, I get $1. So that's good.
And then I settle with these 3. I gain $1 and a green good on this planet when I place it. And then because of my new galactic order, all of the red settlers go into my cup. Which is, as you say, gross.
Do we have a mod in here right now? Kabuki, you're a mod, right? Okay. Thank you for Kabuki.
One thing I do like about Twitch that I will say, and I haven't gone back and watched old broadcasts, but I know.
Are you ready? Do you have dice to roll?
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna spend 2 dice to get. Twitch does save the chat alongside the video, so anybody watching and no, it doesn't.
No,
I thought it did.
Nope. If I redo only if you watch it on the thing. But if I do a replay, it doesn't come back.
Oh yeah, not a replay, but like if someone's watching in the old. I don't know if we have that set up, but that's something that's interesting. Whoa!
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, we actually on Thursdays it's more about like playing with you guys. You all like Thursdays are the days where that's why when Charles was like I could play along with you, we were like yeah. So Thursdays is more about us interacting with the chat and playing with you all, and then Tuesdays we usually play like heavier titles. So it's we try not to interact as much. We still interact, but not as much because otherwise the streams would be 5 hours. So.
I have to make decisions.
Oh, I have to make decisions too. Well, I have a very clear decision. It's sort of a no-brainer. Because I have, like, nothing to do.
Alright, I'm taking a risk.
Okay,
What's Chaz doing?
Well, we have to reveal first.
I am shipping.
I am exploring.
Yeah!
Chaz is developing!
Alright, my military goes back to the cup.
Alright, I need tiles. So I'm actually just gonna draw 3 tiles.
But you do have to do them one at a time. Technically.
Technically.
Cheater McCheaterson.
We're gonna be streaming for like 3 hours tonight. Because we're doing Race for the Galaxy after this one. Yes.
Alright, one for me.
Ooh. Oh, that's tempting to do that way.
And then the second, because you could decide to like do things and then. What? Whoa! I do want that. Okay, and then for my third die.
Oh, and I have to do that. Get? So when you get more than one, you can rearrange. Oh, that's why you do it one at a time because you have to. Yeah,
no, because the
well,
one
but
you
if
get
you
has
draw
to go on the bottom.
More than one, you can do.
Only if you discard.
Well, whatever.
So you do have to do them one at a time. Cheater.
I am a cheater McCheaterson. Cheater McCheaterson. Cheating McCheaterson. Okay. I only have $1, so I'm gonna have a Steve turn. I'm gonna have a Steve turn.
Shipping this green good. And then I ship the green good, and green goods get you $5. So I go up to $6.
Okay.
I'm just gonna spend all $6 because why wouldn't you?
Netter's got some watercolors and inks and is going to start making art again. That makes me super excited.
There's I think did we get it? There was a print at one of our local like print knickknack shops that was like I made art because I get sad if I don't.
Yeah, we bought
just like that's me.
There's I don't know if it's in it's not in frame right now. It's not in frame. So when we play on our 3-player streams, that corner is in frame. So I'll just do that. So we got a print, and that print says, "This is supposed to be fun." This is our like stream whatever corner. So yeah, and then we got the I make art because otherwise I get sad. Print as well. I like to rotate prints. All of the like prints I have on either nails. I have binder clips, and I rotate the prints and posters that we have in our house. because I get I like changing it up. Hey, X-Wing junkies! I'm ready. X-Wing, that would be, we should borrow somebody's X-Wing and play X-Wing. There's so many Space to Stream games!
X-Wing is fun!
Interim Ichi emoji! Oh, it's so good. Hi, Ichi. Ichi's like, could I have an interim dinner? Also, we've been streaming for an hour.
I'm ready.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, you have more dice than I do right now.
So,
I'm exploring!
So I dictated...
Hang on, you're developing.
Yeah, I'm developing.
And then we roll Chaz.
Oop, nope.
Chaz is
not
settling.
Produce. Chaz, you can do better.
Chaz is doing what Chaz wants. Don't pressure him.
Oh, hold on. Mine is just not even on stream.
Cheating McCheaterson.
So you did something?
I did.
I'm going to
did my whole turn.
put all 6 of these dice on develop. So that gives me technology affinity for 2 of them.
It's been $1.
And it says I may reassign 1 worker to be a
$1.
developer. Then the other 4 are going to activate conscription.
So excited about conscripting.
No, I'm very excited about conscripting. So immediately remove any one of my dice and gain 2 military dice into my cup.
I'm like already taking the next turn.
Yeah, can you slow?
No, I can't. I can't slow my roll. I can't slow my roll. The roll is done.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, hi Ichi. Did you want to be on camera? Did you want to be? Did you just really? Are you gonna do that again? Chat asks the chat, between roll and race, which does everyone enjoy more? And Kabuki enjoys race. Shrew enjoys roll. Kabuki owns race, but not roll. I think. But Shrew owns both. We used to own both. But now we just own race, because we prefer race. We had to borrow this copy of this game. This game is borrowed from... I forgot your name. I forgot your name.
Alright, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Nutters likes race.
I think one thing I enjoy
Charles likes roll better.
I enjoy the fact that there are both race and roll because it seems pretty split between people that like both. And there are good things to like about both. It's really just a preference thing.
What is
one thing I know, I'll probably mention this at the end or after we play both, but in roll, things are either tiles or dice, and everything is a little bit more like mentally distinct. And in race, everything is a card, so the game just feels much more like crunched and compact.
Don't remember his name. His Twitter handle is BoardGamerBlues, but I don't remember his actual real name. Who loaned us this copy of the game to play? So that was great. Ryan enjoys roll, but he's never actually played race. He likes San Juan though. Kind of feels like it's between roll and San Juan. Oh, between roll and San Juan, he's good. He doesn't need race.
Yeah, I can see that.
See, and we got rid of San Juan because we had race. So I think it just
I really like San Juan. Part of the thing was
I played it on the app.
Well, because of the setup does take a while. The app does take a lot. It can just be so much faster to play it on the app, and the app is a lot of fun. It's like a travel game almost. I'm ready, by the way.
His name is Jimmy. Board Gamer Blues is Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Thank you,
Weebles Academy.
This stream is sponsored by Jimmy. Because Jimmy met me in a parking lot on a Friday and gave me his copy of Roll for the Galaxy, which, by the way, was brand new. The shrink had been taken off, but nothing inside had been opened.
And we are giving it back.
Yes, we are giving it back.
Oh, I keep doing this. Sorry, my dice are just cheating a little bit. Okay. I settled, by the way.
I settled, too.
What is Chaz doing?
Chaz is producing!
Maybe a little excited there.
Alright. I'm going to
explore?
I'm settling my Comet Planet, and when I settle my Comet Planet, I get a good on it.
I'm settling my trading world.
I only have $1 to get back.
I gain a consumption die into my citizenry.
The brown planet goes on that. I'm just gonna get
all the military go back to my cup because that is
maybe a green die with my $1.
Okay. And then I'm still low on money, but that's fine. I have a wonderful military.
Speaking of San Juan, did you see the minor news where they're changing the new printings of San Juan to Puerto Rico, the card game?
Interesting.
Well, I mean, that is sort of
does kind of make
the
sense.
theme, yeah. Also, Chad said he does not enjoy playing race if he's playing with the Race Pro jerkwads, if you know what I mean. And I totally know what you mean, because I can be one of those Race Pro jerkwads. I don't do it with people who are new to the game. Not that mean.
No, okay.
I rolled in my cup.
Sounds like a personal problem. Whoa, my military's getting everywhere!
Oh, I get $1 when I do Galactic because of recycling. So I'll say I've spent the extra $1 to get a thing. I forgot about that. I'm gonna do that. Because why not?
Why wouldn't you?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Alright, I explored. What's Chaz doing?
I'm shipping.
Yes!
You're too happy about Chaz. You guys have a lot of military. How are you getting all that back?
Every time I settle a planet with military, it goes into my cup. So I don't need money.
You don't, I don't need money. He does have a good military strat.
Developers go back. And then I explode. Explode some tiles.
I am shipping these 2 brown planets. And I have a thing where when I ship a brown planet, I get an extra victory point. So I'm going to ship this one for points. So I get 1 point for the planet, 1 point because it's a brown die. I don't get a point for this die. But I do get an extra point because of my space refinery. So I get 3 victory points for shipping on that brown planet.
And then
I'm
gonna ship.
Oh, Steve is 3 tiles away from finishing the game because it's 12.
I'm gonna ship from this meteorite planet, but I'm gonna do the thing where I gain 2 points.
I need money.
I'm gonna gain 2 points and $1.
I'm gonna get $4.
Because I shipped a good from a rare elements brown world. So that was my explorer. Oh, and then the settle, I can just settle directly onto there, and then that was my ship.
I'll put these
up here. I have $2.
Alright, I have $5, so I'm gonna do...
So I will spend $2.
1, 2...
To gain...
3... 4...
No, I'll gain 1 military die,
5.
and
I'll
gain 2 military dice. Oh, I just have all the tiles.
Too bad you can't see when Steve is cheating.
Nice.
Could do that. It's not enough. Not enough.
I'm ready.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think, that could be an opportunity for the player cam, is just put it, like, right here behind my screen.
I think I'm gonna do that. And, oh, actually, I can do that. Then that, and that.
Roll does definitely just have this, like, it's fun to roll dice, and the game is very, like, chunky feeling. I settled, by the way. Chaz, what are you doing? Chaz!
I settle.
Chaz, what are you doing? Chaz is developing. Chaz is developing. Chaz is
Oh, man. Alright,
Chaz develops.
those go back.
And then my jump drive fuel refinery
I get an outlaw world!
goes back to my cup.
Get a military.
And then the jump drive fuel refinery gives me a brown good on the world when I place it.
Oh, and I get another $1 because I did a thing, so I can get another day. Yoo-hoo! Alright, Steve, if Steve does 2 settlements, he'll end the game, and if I do 3, I'll end the game. You should do some videos on the various camera setups you do. It's hard to find ones for good advice. I did one video so far called my video equipment, where I talk about all the cameras. And I talk about this rig, and I talk about the studio lights that we have, and I talk about the web camera. And it was a while ago, so this is a new web camera, which is nicer, but it's also way more expensive.
Chaz and I have mind melded, by the way.
I think that happens with Chaz and Las Vegas. If you didn't know, in the game Las Vegas, if you play 2-player, there's a ghost player named Chaz. And you make decisions for Chaz. And we find this very funny because we have a friend named Chaz who does Dice Paradise, or Pair of Dice Paradise. So yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm not. I can't do it.
It's fine.
That's beautiful, though. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. Sure. I'm ready.
I'm gonna change everything that I'm doing.
See you, Nutters. Thanks for swinging by. We'll be here for a race later. Chaz Marler, yep. That's our Chaz. He loves, it's true, he does love Las Vegas. Da-da-da. I'm ready. Wait on you. You said you were ready.
Do the right thing, Chaz.
Chaz, you mean the microwave guy. Chaz Marler, did he do something with a microwave?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Alright. Chaz, what are you doing? Whoa.
Yeah, I rolled 5 explorers.
Chaz is developing.
I rolled 5 explorers, so I was like,
so
whatever.
you're exploring.
So I explored.
Chaz developed, and then I'm shipping.
So the first explorer, I'll do it right. I draw a tile for the first one.
Where do excess dice go?
Your cup.
Cup, okay. So that's a develop. You're exploring. Production doesn't happen.
I'm gonna do that for sure.
I'm gonna ship this jump drive fuel thing. Oof, and that's gonna give me 3 points and $1.
I feel like I just need to like bunker down on points.
I'll do a 5
and not worry about settling. So I'm gonna
and then
do
that ship goes back to my cup.
$2, $2, $2. Oh, I've lost track. Damn it!
Spend $2 and get.
I did 1 for the thing. Okay, and then yes. So I had yes. Okay, and then $2 for that one, and then with that one I'll just do a tile. Sure. Oh, the microwave thing is an in-joke with Chaz's channel. I don't watch a lot of Chaz's videos, so cool.
I mean, I hope he's okay after the microwave thing.
Do you know the inside joke, or are you
don't.
just guessing?
I just hope he's okay.
Okay. Alright.
Sharpies and paper are the best protos, but it does feel good to clean one of those up. Are we doing a new round?
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6. I will save some money.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm not.
I'm very ready.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, that's good to know. I'm glad that the chat and the chat was concerned about Chaz's microwave replacement program.
Yeah, it's important to care about. Okay.
Chaz, do the right thing, Chaz.
I produce. Chaz settles.
I'm developing.
You develop.
Ah, darn.
So my explorer comes back.
My explorer also comes back.
I get 1 develop, 1 settle.
I get 2 develop.
And then I will ship. Or
And
sorry.
then I have nothing to settle, so my settle comes back.
And then I'm actually gonna pull this die back because I don't really want it there, and pull that back. And then I have $3, so 1, 2, 3 to get 3 dice. Whoa!
All right. All right, I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Do that. All right, I'm ready.
I am shipping.
I'm exploring.
Chaz is shipping! Alright, so these come back.
Go back.
And then I actually am shipping a green with a green.
Whoa.
So that's 3 points.
I'm going to take a tile.
And then I'm shipping these brown. And it's a brown planet, so I get 1 point. It's brown die, I get another point. And whenever I ship on brown, I get an additional point. So I get 3 points for both of these. So
if I can ever build this
I
pirate
get
world,
6 points.
I'll gain a military die into my citizenry.
And all of these go back to my citizenry.
I'm going to get a red die.
I have $1, so I will get a brown die. Brown die?
All right, let's do this.
No, I don't want a brown die. I want a green die. Okay. We're getting close.
We're getting very close.
If things would happen.
If things happen. All right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. I am settling.
Yes, I'm developing. What are you doing, Chaz?
Chaz is exploring.
All right. None of us care about that. All right. Well, development. I finished robot surveyors.
I do all 4 to terraform world on settle. So no more dice.
So robot surveyors gives me +2 at the end of settle, and that triggers on this settle phase, right?
What? No.
Yeah, +2 at the end of the settle phase, and then now that it's the settle phase, I'll get an extra $2, right?
Oh yes, I think it wouldn't happen if it happened during the settle phase, but yeah. Chaz asked what people played this week. Charles asked what people played this week. Charles played Ethnos and Tick to Ride. Gameline played Massive Darkness and Stuffed Fables. Stuffed Fables! I'm excited about that. Shrew played Baseball Highlights 2045, Field Commander Napoleon, and they've got Soccer City set up next.
Nice.
Kabuki played Pandemic Legacy Season 2, Spoils of War, Codenames, Pit Crew, Dixit, Blockers, Dead Drop, Time's Up.
I'm curious how Pandemic Legacy Season 2, how people like it, because we have only played Season 1.
We haven't finished it yet.
I know the rough outline of it, but, and no spoilers, but it's interesting.
Oh, did you end the game?
I did end the game.
Dang it.
Is there one more round?
Nope. You ended it. Alright, so Steve ended the game.
Military.
So none of this matters anymore anyway. So now you just get points for the victory point tiles that you have, and points for anything you've built. And I'm pretty sure he's probably got it. But your starting stuff also counts. So yeah, let's just tally it up.
Bad at math. Everybody knows that I'm bad at math.
Alright, I'm logging my play. Boop. Of course. Alright, I'm ready. Ryan P played Apocalypse Chaos. And Chad played Pulsar and Favelas. Oh, Favelas. Meeple's Academy really likes Pandemic Legacy Season 2. And feels it's more challenging. Meeple's Academy played Azul and Heaven and Ale. Both great games.
You got a lot of points.
Oh, you shut up.
No, I mean, you got a lot of, like, point shits.
Yes. But you got more points.
So yeah, I got 5 points from stuff, and then a bunch of points from things. And New Galactic Order gave me an extra 2 points from having 3. I was 1 away from getting an extra 2 points from that.
Steve got 42 points.
Yep, 42 points for me.
And I got 34 points, which is the score I got when we played the other day. So yeah.
Kabuki, I've seen large boxes of Axis and Allies Anniversary. I'm just curious, what differentiates it from the normal Axis and Allies? I imagine it's kind of like the TTR Anniversary style, where it's like larger and more things are done.
So there we go.
Good game.
Okay.
You were trying to grind points out with production, right?
Well, so I like set it up and it was too late. But basically, when I shipped these, if I did it right, I could get 4 points. But I only had enough die to get 4 points from one, or I could get 3 points from two each round. So I could get 6 points from these every time I activated them, and that was what I was trying to do. But I only managed to do it twice, which explains why I have the points that I have. So yeah. The Axis and Allies Anniversary is just a redesign of the game. It's not. Yeah. It's just nicer. Yeah.
Oh, it's a redesign. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
I know there were always some rough edges when I played it with friends.
What else did we? Oh, I can look up what we played because we both track plays.
I played the same game in the series as Heroes of Normandy, the Heroes of Blackreach, which is the Warhammer 40k basically reskin of Heroes of Normandy, which is actually kind of fun. I played it solitaire, but mostly just to learn it, but I still had fun. It's based on, I think, Jan and Clem, the two designers. They did a game called Frontiers in 2007, which was basically a flop, but it was on deep discount clearance for like $5 as like a daily deal. So I picked it up, but because it was a very similar system, but because it was like free movement, it really didn't work for solitaire play. So I was happy with just the introductory version of that. I was like, hey, it worked for solitaire. So that was fun.
Yeah, the shipping strategy is tougher, but it does work better. Steve lucked out with a good military combo early. I'm not gonna say that his victory was entirely luck based, but
no, but that New Galactic Order was one of the first tiles I drew, and then the Rebel Hideout gave me 2. Yeah. So it was
serendipitous combo.
But it took a while to get going because I had no way to really generate money, and then with the Doomed World, I got extra money instead of a planet, which actually worked in my favor because I could buy all the dice early.
Yep. And that's Roll Over the Galaxy! Woo! And that stream was about an hour and a half. That's what I kind of guessed it would be. We talked a lot. But for plays this week, we have played Pulsar 2849 twice, Roll for the Galaxy twice, Charterstone twice, and finished our Charterstone campaign. So, yeah. That was our plays. We like to pre-play the games that we're streaming, so.
It really helps.
Weekends, we play things that are not really stream-related. And Wednesdays.
What did I get? 42?
42.
And you got?
34. So, yeah.
You got the same score as last time.
For this game,
cool.
Because so with Race for the Galaxy, which we're gonna play here in a second, there's a deck of cards and the distribution of tiles. You use the cards as both currency, it's your income, it's your money. You use them also as goods, and you use them as the locations. And so it's multi-use for the cards, but because of that, the distribution of what's available in the deck is a little different. Because some card that you could really use could be sitting as somebody's or sitting on a mining planet or something like that, right? So the distribution is a little differently, whereas in this game, everything's just in a bag and you draw it, but currency is separate stuff.
And then all the basically almost like in a sense, resources. It's like multi-use dice, but like all the things that you would need are separate from the tiles as colored dice. And so it's easier to see like the probabilities of the things that you need, whereas if things are cards, it's almost abstracted a little bit more.
Well, I feel like it's abstracted more, but like in this one, you have to get the tile, and then the tile, if you build it, gives you the die that you need, but you have to have the die come up, so you have to pay to get the die, and then you have to do the die as the thing. Whereas in the card game, you just say, I produce, and then you take a card off the top of the deck. So there's no, like, trying to time getting a brown die when you have the brown planet up. Like, you're not worried about that. There's no cycle of, I ship the brown die, now I need to get the brown die back and produce it. And, like, this thing, it's more of, because of the way the follow action works, like, you can always produce if you have producing planets. And so you're not waiting for that brown die to come up. You can just always be like, oh, the planet's empty. I produce on it.
Yep.
If you have cards that have produce actions. So there's a lot more things that happen passively in the card game than in the dice game, because everything you do in the dice game depends on the actual physical dice that you have. If you don't have a die in that column for that action, you can't do that action. It doesn't matter. Like, all the tiles just are boosts for actions that you can do, like the development tiles. So it's like a different way to play, where you're paying attention a little less to what is on the cards, and you're paying more attention to the dice that you have physically in front of you that you're physically manipulating, which is why I think some people enjoy Roll a little bit more, because it's more tactile. There's more of a direct correlation between what you're doing and what you can do, with like a physical die aspect. Whereas opposed to, you're not like trying to remember all the things that you can do on all the cards with the weird icons and like things like that.
Yeah, I think one thing also is the abilities are in text on the tiles in Roll, and I think they're all icons in Race. So that might also make it a little easier to be like, what does this planet do? Like, it's in text, so. Yeah,
it's an easier game for people who are new to this kind of mechanic. But there's more like stuff. You have the dice, you have these action tiles, you have these, which you do have in the main game, you have the starting tiles, you have the bag of tiles, and then you have like these player areas and the cups and then the income and stuff like that. So there's like more things, but the things are just physical versions and things that you can manipulate that are just abstractions in Race for the Galaxy.
Yeah, I think and there are some like other subtle differences. Like Ryan points out that in Roll you can produce then ship, whereas in Race you ship first and then produce. You can't do both in the same turn.
Yeah.
So there's some subtle stuff.
Well, it would make sense though that you would produce and ship, because it's harder to do in Race than it is for Roll.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, that's cool, the differences with the Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition. Just like different molds for the nations, different like victory conditions in cities. I don't know. That's interesting. I might have to.
There's a rental copy at Red Castle Games
of the Anniversary Edition.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
I can play 6 nations. That's fine.
Just by yourself.
I can get 6 hats.
If you want to reserve a table, Red Castle is open for 14 hours on Saturdays. So if you just want to get there when they open at 10 a.m. with your bagel and your coffee, and then you just set up, you can rent it. A dude rented Twilight Imperium 3 and showed up at 10 a.m., was there like when we opened the doors, and him and his buddies came and they played, and they had like food delivered, and like they played all day. And like you can do it by yourself if you want.
It's an option.
It's an option. Yeah. All right. So, anyway, that was Roll for the Galaxy. We're going to go ahead and pack this up and feed the dogs dinner, because we haven't done that yet. Feed ourselves dinner, because we haven't done that yet. And then we're going to be back with Race for the Galaxy. We're probably going to start that one at 9 o'clock. So just so we have some time to like eat and stuff. But Race for the Galaxy by Tom LeMay is the inspiration for Roll for the Galaxy, of course. Layman, sorry. So there's that. We're excited to play this one. We do have the first expansion, and we are going to play with a part of the first expansion, but we're going to talk about that when we start. So there's that. If you are watching live and you want to watch the Race for the Galaxy stream, if you just hang out in the Twitch page on the channel, when we come back, it'll like reactivate for you and you should be fine and you'll know that we're here. So that's an option. Otherwise, I will tweet, or if you're followed, you'll get a notification if you're hanging out on Twitch that we are back. So there's that. If you're not watching live, you can find a link to the Race for the Galaxy video somewhere in the channel. YouTube suggested something. Someplace. If you want to watch that stream. Otherwise, thank you for watching and hanging out with us. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us while we play. We definitely love having you guys in the chat. It's the reason we stream, is we like having people to like hang out with, and you are awesome at doing that. So thank you. And if you're watching in the future, I hope this video was helpful and the chat distraction wasn't too distracting for you. But you should come and hang out and watch with us live sometime if you can. So yeah. Alrighty. Any other comments?
We should talk about Jump Drive when we play Race.
We will talk about Jump Drive when we play Race for sure, because that is something that should definitely be mentioned. But we're gonna go feed some doggos because there's a very sad corgi. She gave up begging like an hour ago, and she's just been staring at us. So sad, just right there.
We're getting a little
beneath
side
the
eye.
camera.
Corgi side eye too.
So yeah, but we'll be back probably in like half an hour with Race for the Galaxy. So yeah, thank you for watching.
Yep.
Night.
Cheers.
Yeah, we gotta eat dinner. We gotta. Yeah. All right, we'll be back.